Wow. Wow.
Are you
It's pretty easy.
Are you a
Pretty easy. Come on. Yes.
All right. Sorry. Do it again. One more time.
Wow.
Are you that clip of Owen Wilson saying wow, but mixed with a siren if that had a baby?
Oh, interesting.
Wow. Are you that?
No, that would be someone with too much time on their hands, which is all of us, it seems like, at this point.
Yep.
I am a fire engine number 8 specifically, out of northern Chicago. They use an old school fire engine. I don't know if you knew that. They use an old school fire alarm there.
I still can't tell if you're bullshitting me or not.
In the reality of my impersonations, everything I say is real. Yeah.
All right. Well, you are listening to 5 Words, the podcast. That is certainly real. What are facts at this point?
Exactly.
You know? Who knows?
That's Caitlin. She's got facts.
I'm Caitlin Cook, and that's Sean Patton.
Yeah.
He's got noises.
That's our relationship. That's our dynamic.
Yep.
Caitlin's got facts. I got noises.
Yep. And you're listening to 5 Words, the podcast,
where we have a guest on every week. They give us 5 words of a story, 5 random words based on what we know about the guest and those words. We tell them what we think their story is. They then tell us if we're wrong or if we're incredibly wrong or if we're nowhere fucking close.
Yep. Yep.
And then they tell us the real story, and then we chat about it and slam dunk.
That's the slam dunk sound.
Yeah, right the moment before everybody starts going, wah! Right? This is episode 49.
Yeah.
We're coming up on a year anniversary.
Yep.
Episode 49. Our guest, she's awesome.
Nicole Aimee Schreiber.
Yep. She's Jesus, she opens for Bobby Lee.
Yep.
She's on all kinds of podcasts. She's got her own podcast. She's at the Comedy Store constantly. Yeah, she opens for Attel.
Yep.
Her and I have done shows together at this Comedy Cellar in Vegas.
Yep, that's where we hung out the first time.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's hilarious and very funny on social media. So go follow all of her stuff. Enjoy the episode. Sean, do you have anything you want to plug?
We got our episode 2 of Live at 10:33.
Yep.
Airing at 10:33 p.m.
Friday night.
Every
Friday night.
April 17th.
At holdthephone.tv. And this one, we have a guest.
On Twitch, by the way.
Yes.
The guest is Mark Normand.
Yep.
Wonderful comedian, fellow New Orleanian. So goddamn funny. Arguably one of the best, if not the best, joke writer in comedy currently.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like, arguably the best. I would argue the best just because we share that 504 roots. But, I'm a 985
That's what
guy.
I have to say about that.
That's what you would say because if I'm taking that as you just ate some delicious food.
And I did.
And drank all night long.
I did not do that.
At a local bar. That's why you would belch in reference to a 504.
I would if I was in New Orleans and,
Yeah.
the world was different right now.
So check us out on Friday.
Yeah.
Holdthephone.tv. Live at 10:33.
Hell yeah.
10:33 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to do it again. 9:33 Central.
Oh, no.
8:33 Mountain.
My head hurts.
7:33 Pacific.
But you should absolutely join us and send in your random questions ahead of time and all that wonderful nonsense. And also, if you want to watch more live stream comedy, every Tuesday night is Good God at holdthephone.tv on Twitch. So join us tonight. David Cross will be on it, along with Baron Vaughn, Nori Reed, Sammy Schwaber, and Graham Kay.
Boom, David Cross.
I don't know why my voice just got very like NPR.
Because we're talking. This is basically the same thing as AM radio, only more, and so we can insert a little boom to it. So there you go. Listen to the episode. You're
Definitely
gonna love it.
made it peak there. All right, enjoy Nicole Aimee Schreiber. She's fucking amazing. I love this episode. Enjoy.
Bye. Wait, Caitlin, are we recording?
Yeah.
We are? Okay, perfect. We can roll right into it. So, speaking of trash neighborhoods, what is the trashiest neighborhood in LA in your experience, Caitlin?
In my experience.
Because you grew up in LA.
Yeah, I guess at the time of growing up there, McCarran Park area was like where I went to get my fake IDs, and like it was pretty trash.
McCarran Park? I only
That's
know
not McCarran Park. I'm sorry. I meant MacArthur Park. McCarran Park is in New York. What is wrong with my brain?
MacArthur Park is the worst. I mean, my neighborhood's not as bad as MacArthur Park, but
I feel like the last couple times I've been to LA, there's such a problem with homeless people living in tents on street, like living in tents, not just staying the night in tents, like set up living. And in San Francisco,
that's their rig. That's their whole thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I feel like the whole country might become like the streets of San Francisco and also Los Angeles.
Hey, Sean, I don't know what you're doing right now, but you're hitting that microphone somehow.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I see what I'm doing. Sorry. And well, you just disrupted my flow 100%.
It's gonna end up like San Francisco or LA.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna end up like that. Yeah.
Our guest, we got Nicole Aimee Schreiber.
Woo,
Hi.
woo, woo.
Coming at you hot from Los Angeles, the future of society where the rich live in hills and tweet at the middle class for traveling during a pandemic, and the rest of us live in tents.
I have never needed celebrities to shut the fuck up more than now.
Yeah.
Through anything I've ever experienced in life, this is the least I've ever wanted to hear from a celebrity. If you live in a fucking mansion with hired help and you can just have people do your bidding, go fuck yourself. I never want to hear your perspective on anything.
Yeah.
Like the only
My favorite
thing,
is celebrities that no longer have their hired help because everyone is quarantining, and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know taking care of 4 children was going to be so demanding. And I'm like, ugh, Jesus Christ.
You're the worst. You're the worst.
That's a thing that's happening right now?
That's a quote from Kim Kardashian, basically, is what I.
Yeah. That's truly happening. Like a friend of mine, she's a stay-at-home mom, and she has 1 kid with special needs, and she has help during the day because the 1 kid he's still very young, but it's a lot. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I can't subject my nanny, my help, to this illness potentially. She's like, so I'm doing it all myself. I spoke to my friend today on FaceTime. She is at her fucking wit's end. Like,
really?
She's not like a rich person. Like, her husband works like, I don't know. Anyways, it's just, there's some people who are really struggling, and I feel bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Am I an asshole? Because still every time, in general, am I an asshole? Okay, thank you. Moving on. But every single time I hear the phrase special needs, and I know what it means, I always immediately think like, he likes to be spoon-fed his corn pops in the morning. And
you just can't dissociate it from the other connotations to the word
like
special.
I never think someone with a disorder. I think someone who's like, I don't like crust on my sandwiches. I don't know why. It's just what
your parents call you special needs. I feel like this is some childhood trauma, perhaps.
Yeah.
Like, you were demanding, and your mom was just like, "It's John. He has special needs.
He's special." I don't think I was a very shy kid. I think that's I had an aunt once. I was very shy. I'm still pretty shy, but I was you say this. No, Nicole says this because she knows. Her and I have done a lot of shows at the Cellar in Vegas together, and afterwards, she's always like, "What do you say?" You go, "Let's go kiss babies."
Yeah, let's kiss babies.
You go stand and talk to the audience as they're leaving, and I'm terrified of doing that.
Sean hates it. What Sean does love doing is going for a little beverage. Mm-hmm. Afterwards, and if people from the show come, he's fine with that. He's fine with like a very small, intimate group. Yeah. But the idea of him going out after a show and having to like meet and greet is like, no.
Terrifying to me. Yeah. But I envy how good you are at it.
Well, that's my drug. That's my drug of choice. I don't really drink, so like the thing that like gets me high and takes the edge off the pain. Yeah. Is people saying they enjoyed something I did.
I get that. Do you ever not do it when you feel like you've bombed?
If I feel like I've bombed, I'm not going fucking out there. No one's going to want me to kiss their baby. They're going to be like, get the fuck away from my baby.
No, wait. This is where, okay, now I disagree. I've seen you have what you have immediately said in the green room minutes after a bad set. I've seen you be like, that was fucking terrible. But then you're still out there. You still go out there.
Depending on how bad the bomb was. I mean, if it was a nuclear holocaust, I'm not going out there. But if it was bad, it's like, I might pick up a stray here or there. You never know.
And sometimes it makes the bomb like feel better if you like if you were like, oh, that didn't go so great.
One person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I feel like actually that might be the great. Fuck that, dude. If we're ever allowed to start performing again, if they lift this ban, I swear I will go and meet and greet every fucking, whether I kill or bomb.
I'm telling Esty that you and I are going to the cellar together next, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold you to that.
I will set up. I'm
gonna cart you out there. I'm gonna get a little choke chain and just pull you out. Like, this is Sean.
Well, you know what the thing is? I know why. It's because like I'm a vulnerable fucking twat on stage. I just like I get too personal on stage. So the idea of someone telling me that like, or just not. I'm not worried about someone coming up to me and being like, that was awful, because that would just be so insane that my defense mechanisms would all kick in simultaneously and I'd flatten that person verbally. But it's someone walking by and doing this. Like if you're the comedian, someone just being like that thing, you know what I mean? When someone like acknowledges your presence but doesn't even act like they just saw you on stage. They're just like, and it's like, oh God, they hated me so much. They don't even want me to know that part.
Yeah.
See, that does happen, but
that's enough that I remember you exist in the world, but not nearly as enjoyable enough to spend any time acknowledging you beyond an eyebrow raise and a head nod.
I don't know. I feel like because before I started performing, I was the kind of person that would have never said anything to the performers. Even if I really loved their set, I just would have been like, oh, they're like a star and I'm too shy. And so I might have done like the eyebrow raise of like, I acknowledge you, like, thank you. But you don't need to hear from me.
That's a good perspective, because I never wanted to talk to people. Like when I wasn't a comedian, I never wanted to talk to comics after the show, because I was just like, it always looked so lame to me when people were like, I love you, can I get a picture with you? Like, and now I'm like, anytime like someone's like, I love you, I want to get a picture with you, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I also, through performing with Caitlin and performing with you, because Nicole, you need to understand this. I think we've done the Cellar together, 3 times now in Vegas?
At least 2.
At least 2.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, because it was the first time we were together doing it in like June of last year.
Yeah. That's when I came, yeah?
Yeah, well, you were there.
Yeah.
I know
that was the best.
That was a great time. But I noticed you and Cypher would just go out there, and and like from that point on, it became like a social studies thing every time to go out there and like watch you two or watch you and whoever was with us last time were there talk to the audience, because that's such a daunting thing for me. But I also have observed, because Caitlin can do it pretty well too.
Yeah.
Performing with Caitlin, performing with you, there is also just a high level of just like guys who probably legitimately thought you were both funny, but also are gonna spin that into like, you blew my mind, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway,
funny. I don't usually think women are funny, but like,
oh, thanks, man.
Like, you made me laugh so hard.
Gender. Thank you.
I did this show with Sean in at the Colorado Room in Fort Collins before everything shut down. And after my set, I went to go get a drink while Sean was on stage, and this guy like came over and was like, oh my God, like that was so good. Like, I don't know what that guy is doing up there right now, but like Sean Patton, so dirty. And I was like, what is wrong with you that you think that like I'm not friends with this person I'm touring with, let alone like this is my partner, but also I don't know what that is.
Not only is this my friend, but I'm his penis parking spot, okay? This is a man I am frequently with.
I love the term penis parking spot. That's great.
It's a penis parking spot.
I love it.
I like to say I'm her vagina coat rack. That's what I like to say. That's the thing too. Like, I don't understand I get it, but like, when people come up and they want to be like, you were the best on the whole show.
Yeah.
It's like,
these other guys were great, but you were so much better. It feels weird.
It feels weird. It feels weird. It definitely feels weird if you're an earshot of them saying that to someone else. It's like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the worst is when they do it and they realize one of the other comics is there. They'll be like, well, you were great too. And I'm like,
I know. Don't do that.
I don't see the fucking scraps, okay?
Yeah, it's also weird when people say it to me or to you or to anyone where it's like, just say I loved your set. Yeah. Oh man, you were so funny. Holy shit. That was I'm just my face hurts, whatever. But like when you as an audience member put that shit out there, we all feel it. Trust me, even someone in the green room who isn't hearing you feel like oh God, someone else just got told they were the best on the show. I feel it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I mean, I think comics don't like it to the point where like you're literally one of my favorite comics on the planet.
Oh,
and I'll tell comics that and they'll be like, I feel like some comics like get offended that I don't like them as much as I like you.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I think Sean's great. Yeah. And it's like, wow, you can't even accept. Like, I can think you're funny, but the fact that I think Sean is the funniest, people are like, it's just hard to hear.
Well, that's very nice of you. That's also like, yeah, I know there are definitely people who can't. Like I used to as a younger comic. So it took me a while when people would be like, oh my God, have you seen this other comedian? They're amazing. It took me a while to stop hearing, oh my God, have you seen this other comedian? They're infinitely better than you could ever possibly be.
That's so funny.
I mean?
That's literally what so many comics do.
No,
I was talking about you with Bobby Lee when we were on the road, and Bobby was like, Sean, I know that name. I know him. I know him. I know him, right? I know him. And I'm like, yeah, you know Sean. And he's like, why am I blanking? And then I showed him your picture and he's like, yeah, oh my God, he's amazing.
You know what's fun? You know what's funny about Bobby Lee? I think Bobby's very, very, very funny. I've only had one interaction with him outside of the store, like I want to say late last year. Obviously, or maybe it was early this year. Anyway, where he comes over to me and he's like, Sean Patton, don't see you around here much. And I went like, well, Bobby, that's because I'm not around much. It was just like, he came with this like jokingly abrasive energy and I just responded with one. And he goes, are you a bully? And I go, no. And he goes, good. And then he walks away. And it was this moment where like, I don't know if he was fucking with me or not. Probably was fucking with me.
Everything you just described feels like the most Bobby Lee experience possible.
Yeah. Like, but I like him. I think he's there's a clip of him on what's a podcast? The Fighter and the Kid. Is that the one with Callan and Brandon Schaub?
Yeah.
Of him telling them the story of getting molested by someone with Down syndrome. Do you know this?
No.
Just watch it. That's all I'm going to say. Just watch it. It's a very like, I'm not even going to say anymore.
Bobby Lee Down syndrome molestation.
Yeah. Just watch it.
Those are 5 great words as well.
And how are you? Because, okay, so you and I did a thing last night, live streaming. You said something. We did the Cellar live streaming thing last night where it felt like we were all just like, look at your faces. Ah! And then it was over suddenly. But you said something in there that we breezed over. Did you say you're living with someone who's positive for the vid? Holy!
She went to her boyfriend's apartment so they could be positive over there together.
Oh shit! Really?
And I mean, they were quarantined here for 3 weeks, and I
3
was with them for 2.5 weeks of it.
Okay.
They both did the mouth swab. COVID came up negative, but she had this like crazy like cough like I can't even describe it. I've never heard a cough like it. It sounded like when they ultimately make a movie about COVID-19, the cough that someone's going to have in the movie is going to be this cough. Like that's how it was like.
The dry cough.
Oh no.
She was like, every cough was like her gasping for air. And I was always like, are you going to fucking die?
That's terrifying.
And then her boyfriend had a bit of a cough. His was just like everybody, but they were both like describing that like it felt like there was just like a brick on their chest. Like and every time you tried taking a deep breath, it's like somebody was pushing you down. And then And then 2 days ago, they went to his apartment because his roommate went down to stay with his parents for this whole thing. So they went back there, and then she called me 2 days ago and was like, or a day ago, I can't remember, and was like, hey, I tested positive. I'm like, you got another test? And she's like, no, I went to urgent care because I had a fever. And the urgent care doctor was like, you have a fever. They did a chest x-ray. Her lungs were completely clouded. Oof. And they were like, yeah, the doctor's like, you have COVID-19. Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck.
So
wait,
now
how old is she?
I was like, I told her she's 35 or something like that.
Okay.
I was like, you need to quarantine at your boyfriend's. And she's like, all right, cool. I'll come back in a few days and pick up some stuff at the apartment. I'm like, no, you won't.
No.
No, you won't. Like, don't leave where you are. Like, you've literally just been labeled Typhoid Mary. Like, don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. That's it. It's all. Goodbye. You're not socializing. You're not leaving the fucking apartment in any capacity.
Yeah.
Your stuff is all shrink wrapped on the front yard now.
Yeah. I was like, you can come by and pick your stuff. I'll toss it to you.
Yeah.
But now it's the sort of thing where it's like, okay, I've been around her. I gotta be honest, guys. I've never felt healthier in my life. This is the most sleep, rest I've had. I don't know. I feel like I'm on the road at some point every single month.
Right.
And then I'm up late. When I am home, I'm up late doing comedy. So it's like, this is the healthiest I have ever been.
Dude, you're not the first person who said that. And yeah, I think a lot of because we drank a couple of days ago was Caitlin's birthday. Just throwing that out there.
My birthday's coming up too.
Oh yeah.
Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday. Caitlin's was on April Fool's Day of all days.
As it always is.
We drank for the first time for me in weeks since
I drank 3 days in March, and that was it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are drinking a ton.
No.
There are a lot of people that are doing it, but I just don't understand why. You're trapped at home.
Well, even if you're just drinking at home though, you're not, and you're a performer or you're someone who normally drinks, you're not drinking like you would if you were out.
Yeah, you're not drinking.
No. Yeah, you might be having just glasses of wine or whatever.
You're not going back to the fridge to get another beer and just being like, fuck it, shots, and then pouring shots for yourself. And if you are, I mean, wow, film it because you.
Well, if you are, I hope it's
commit to a lifestyle.
For sure. And I hope it's playing a house party or something via Zoom with all your friends.
I hope, yeah, right now.
What is this house party thing, by the way?
Oh, I love it. I did it with my brother and his wife on my birthday, where it's it's basically like FaceTiming, but you can play Pictionary and games like that at the same time.
That sounds relatively enjoyable.
Yeah.
It relatively, but also I feel right now, I wonder, because there's a house or numerous houses in any major city where it's all former bar staff people who live together.
Oh, for sure.
Who are just fucking hammered.
When the bar closed, the owner was take the handles that are in the well.
Yeah.
And they're just hammered this whole
they
month.
just cleared out the well and went home. Yeah.
They're
shitarded right now.
Yeah. They are sanitizing their apartment with fucking vomit, basically. Yeah. Just puke on it, light it on fire, shit's disinfected, bro. Or they're just living it up like they're a bar. I love that idea of just being in their
people were that committed to a bar lifestyle. Them convincing the owner to let them hang out at the bar at night.
Dude, there's definitely that shit still going on, right?
Totally.
There's definitely bars that keep the front door shut, but they invite 7 people.
Yeah.
And it's we're going to keep the doors closed. No one's going to see in here, but come in. It's a $40 cover. Everything's included, and we'll just get shit-faced 6 feet apart from each other. And if that's not happening, I don't think it shouldn't, to be honest.
I'm going to be disappointed if that's not going on.
Yeah.
Truly. In my dream world, if I was that cool and I had access to people like that, I would be doing that. But instead, I'm quarantined by myself with my fucking dog.
But I love your
I'm
dog.
really happy my roommate and her boyfriend are gone.
Oh, that's so good.
I mean,
yeah, so now you have to.
But literally, the two of them are so codependent. It's crazy. It's just to watch codependence blossom in real time is truly the worst thing I've ever seen.
Wait, are they now? You're alone, you and your dog. How long has it been since you said earlier, but I fucking forgot already. How long have you been alone?
I've been in my apartment since May 15th. I was at the Cellar when the shit hit the fan. They canceled the last night of shows. I was in Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas. Okay, yeah.
And they shut it down. They let us know after the second show on Saturday night. They're like, shows are canceled tomorrow night. All like outside produced shows for the casino are being shut down. And so I ended up going home on Sunday. And then when I got home that night of the 15th, I've been in my apartment since. And then I've been alone on and off because my roommate and her boyfriend have been going to his place a little bit. They're mostly here, but now they're completely there. So now I am like completely alone. And it's been this way for about 3 or 4 days now.
Woo!
Nice. And it's wild. It's fucking wild. I've never been this alone with my thoughts, and it is awful.
Yeah, and now you just have to quarantine for a while because you could be a carrier.
Yeah.
But but like
you got a dog. We got to get a dog.
Alone with your thoughts. I think a lot of people are going to come out of this like mentally more resilient. You know what I mean? Like
you're either going to come out of this mentally more resilient
or broken.
Or fucking broken. I started seeing a shrink because I was like losing my mind the other day. And I found through Pete Lee's girlfriend who works for a psychiatry service got me a psychologist, and I spoke to the psychologist on Zoom. And the psychologist was saying he's like the effects of this quarantine are going to echo for a very long time. He's like, this is a very traumatic thing for people.
Yeah.
This being alone like this, this is a version of solitary confinement. Because of this, I no longer believe in solitary confinement for a prisoner. I think that is cruel and fucking unusual punishment.
Yeah, I mean, because they don't they can't get on Zoom.
They don't even have a smartphone. Like I've got my phone. Like there's a person. Could you imagine just having to look at your fucking wall with nothing on the wall?
Dude, yeah. I mean, I don't even know. Yeah.
If that is a thing that they still do to prisoners, that's fucking cruel, man.
I mean, yeah, like I guess you could argue like certain types of prison, like someone who like confesses to like a quadruple rape and murder.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right,
maybe I don't care about.
Maybe lock that person away in a box and just let them.
You don't get to punish someone in prison who's in prison for like, I don't know, even if you just like.
Oh yeah, like
I don't know. I can't even think of what the hierarchy would be.
Well, it's a punishment because it's like you got into a fight in like the food hall or something.
Yeah, that I don't think you should punish people that way.
No, I agree.
Or if you do solitary confinement, nothing longer than a day. Like one day of being completely alone in my apartment, I'm like, I know every inch of my apartment now, and I want to know every inch of my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I think it's important to take walks too, because I was reading this thing about how in Wuhan, people had developed agoraphobia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like which is a horrendous. I mean, claustrophobia is awful as well, but I feel like agoraphobia, and I feel like agoraphobia has got to be worse.
That's the one where you don't want to go outside, right?
But no, because you're afraid of open. You're afraid of open spaces. It's the exact opposite of claustrophobia.
Yeah. Okay.
They're both awful, but like, you know.
Both awful, but I couldn't imagine the fear of like leaving. I mean, sometimes I'm afraid of leaving my house. But ultimately I leave my fucking house. This whole thing has been such a fucking wild ride. I cannot. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, really? Still?
What day is it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't know what day it was if it wasn't for my birth control. That's how I know what day of the week it is every day. I wake up, I walk over to my birth control. I'm like, Friday, here we go.
I love the idea that, like, I mean, you know, you're a confident, bold woman, Nicole, but you're definitely not boning during the epidemic, are you?
That is all.
But you're still like, gotta take them birth control pills.
Gotta control these babies.
Because when
that's
they
a weird
lift
thing
the
too.
quarantine, I'm fucking.
Oh, dude, I will fuck on sight, okay? By the way, I saw on my street, there was an abandoned limo that's been sitting there for years, okay? Everybody in the neighborhood knows this limo. It's like a 1990, like maybe late 80s, like super stretch limo.
Yeah.
And a crackhead's just been living in it for years. And he drives the thing around to different locations and then parks and then moves and then parks, whatever. So recently, he was parked very close to where I live. The whole thing caught on fire. He was smoking crack in it. Caught fire. Firefighters, I'm out walking my dog, and I see the firefighters putting out the fire in the limo.
Fuck.
And I'm like, oh my God, I have such a thing for firefighters. And I was like, at this point, I've been locked inside for far too long. And I saw these firefighters, and I was like, oh God, they're so hot. And then one of them gets out an axe and like walks up to the window, and I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna break out the window. And he throws the axe back and hits the window, and it like cracks a little bit. And I was like, oh! Axe back again, and then fully smashes it in, and I go, yeah! And then this dude standing next to me, I was like, that was good for me. Have a good one. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go masturbate for fucking days over that. I'm the horniest I've ever been.
That's fucking hilarious.
So I don't. Is this an aphrodisiac? I don't know, but I've never. Like, I am rubbing my vagina on random objects at this point.
Oh yeah, the day they lift the quarantine, 9 months later, they're gonna have to flatten the curve of babies
boomers.
being born.
Yeah, totally. Oh,
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. Literally, I'll fuck a Comedy Store door guy after this. Like, I'll fuck anybody.
I mean, if they dress up, if they paint their fucking dong like a fucking axe, like a fireman's axe, and you just like, let me smash the windshield.
Yeah. Oh, fucking just my pussy's a windshield. Fucking destroy it. Fucking so lonely. Literally, if one of those firefighters walked up to me and was like, suck my dick right now, I'd be like, ugh.
I feel like I would trust a firefighter more than a rando.
1,000%.
Do you think like, wait, fuck, the fire, shit, I had a point and it just completely, oh yeah. I wonder like how many, if like glory holes are on the rise now, and it just like in people's front doors though. You know what I mean? Like, not in bathrooms because we can't go out in public. Just like, hey, there's a glory hole in my front door. You know, just come fucking slick it through. The mail slot, they just turn it into a glory hole.
I mean, we need to go to WeHo for these answers.
Yeah, right.
Glory holes are a very West Hollywood brand.
I mean, I feel like, hey, if you're a big dick lover, set up a glory hole and just, put it out there on social media.
Yeah.
You know?
I am a fan of the Big D. So, what would suck is if you were a firefighter and you had just a fucking little peen.
That would suck. But at least you'd be a firefighter.
Like, I mean, what's the point,
What? I like Caitlin's logic.
Oh, you got a big hose. And then he's got like a fucking little hose. Like, what a bummer. Why did you even go into this line of business? Why didn't you just be an EMT? Jesus, with your little.
Yeah, those guys got tiny wangs.
Yeah, that's what you're known for. Micropene.
I feel like if you're a fireman with a tiny dong, you got to be able to like pee and cum real hard. Like anything that comes out of it's got to be like a lot. Like a fucking. You got to like. I could blow a load across a room and I could piss out a 1-alarm fire by myself.
A 1-alarm fire.
Like. That's what I'm talking about, tiny dick guys.
Look at the stream on that little pecker.
You gotta pee. If you got less, make your ding dong like an Uzi. Think of it like that. It's a shorter barrel, but more ammo comes out of it.
I don't know what I know what an Uzi is, but I don't know how an Uzi shoots, and I don't know how barrel affects speed or trajectory or anything. So I'm just like, cool, right, that.
Yeah.
By the way, the next time we're in Vegas, I met a chick who, well, I went to the gun range when I was there, but I met the chick who owns it. And she's like, anytime you're in town, come to the gun range. And I'm like, yes.
Dude, this whole thing has also changed my perspective on like a lot of like, yeah, I'd own a gun now, probably. And like, I want to get a car. And like all these things are
I want to get a car and I want to get a gun. Like the second this is over, car and a gun. Done.
And a dog.
Oh, that's you got to get a dog.
Yeah.
Now is the time to get it.
I applied to foster.
Okay, yeah, fostering is a great idea.
Wait, have you? I mean, I don't know if women have the same thing is that the bespoke packages. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like all these companies on like Instagram and shit, where it's like get a pair of boots, jeans, a belt, a sweet knife, and a hat and a jacket to look like the rustic modern man. These like package.
Well, there's packages like that where you can like order like wardrobe and you get like shopping ideas every month, but not
like a whole setup right away.
You don't get like a whole rig, yeah.
That should be like a rig where you like, all right, you get a Toyota 4Runner, a Shiba Inu, and a Glock 19.
A starter pack.
yeah, just like a fucking semi-survival starter pack. Also, a thing of Brita filter in the back.
Survival pack needs to have some sort of like pit bull. Like you need an apocalypse dog. Like I'm thinking like John Wick's dog, you know?
Mm-hmm. And for Nicole, a vibrator that has like engine number 12.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? Like
I don't understand how firefighting companies haven't come out with their own line of sex toys for real.
Right?
A Sibian? Give me a Sibian from Firehouse 93.
Yes. Put a little branding, put a little fire like colors on it. Hell yeah. Sibian with flames.
9/11 edition? Oh, fuck it. Crush that thing.
Fucking pop my pussy like a fire hydrant and let the children play in it.
Should we do it?
Wait, so Nicole.
Yeah.
We will now ask you if it's about that time. Can you tell us your story in the 5 words?
Yeah, tell us your 5 words.
Tell us the words.
Wait, hold on, I gotta bring them up. I can't remember what I sent you. Let me look. Here we go. Ready?
Go.
Hazing, Isaiah Thomas, backyard, baby diapers, bananas.
Oh snap.
Shit.
So I believe this story goes back to your college days when you were clearly you were too cool to fuck around with any dumb Greek sorority bullshit. So you started your own sorority, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, we're going to step up the hazing. It's not just going to be drink until you barf or spin around or wear a dumb dress on campus. In order to get into my sorority, you have to fuck a future NBA Hall of Famer. So, and you were like, I'll go first, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Right? Classic. Detroit Pistons, number 11, won a couple championships in the 90s.
Yes. So then you have to figure out like, okay, how are we going to make this happen? And through some like back channel networking, you find out that he is like having this backyard party at his house, this VIP party, and you and your crew of sorority ladies sneak in. Hold on, John, you froze for a second.
You get busted, of course, because he's Isaiah Thomas. He's got some security. Am I back? All right. Yes. So you get busted by security. All your sorority girls, you just completely fucking run off, and you're like, wait, hold on. No, I'm the nanny. I'm here to watch his kids during the party. And they're like, oh, finally, you're here. Because, all right, get in here. Here's his, 1-year-old son. Hope you got a lot of patience and love in your heart, right? Because this baby shits a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
And you're going through so many fucking baby diapers because this baby just has constant diarrhea.
Constant.
And then you're like, you're scrambling, trying to figure out like, why am I taking care of this baby? Like I came here to fuck Isaiah Thomas. What the fuck is happening? And you spot
some bananas.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, that's what I'm going to do. This baby needs some potassium. I'm going to feed it some fucking bananas so it'll stop shitting. And I can finally get to boning Isaiah Thomas. Turns out, though, the babies work. I mean, the bananas work on the babies. This is something Isaiah Thomas takes notice of. Like, oh, my God, you figured out how to get my baby to stop shitting. You're hired, full-time nanny. So you drop out of college and you take that gig for a few years. Eventually, though, you never bone Isaiah because dealing with his baby shit just kind of turned you off and opened your eyes to the possibilities of other things.
And that's the story.
Yeah.
You got one detail right.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we get one,
you kind of got 2 details right.
All right. Well, let's hear it. What's the real story?
2? That's impressive.
Tell us
All
the
right.
real story.
Okay, so my senior year of high school, I drive a girl who lives in my neighborhood, well, close to me. I'll drive her home from school sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
She's a freshman. I became friends with her. Her name's Jessica. And I took a liking to kind of her and her like little crew of friends.
Yeah.
And I decided one night, I was with my best friend, Tracy, who lives down the street from me. We decided that we were going to haze Jessica and her 2 friends.
Yes.
So we told the girls the next day at school, be ready. It's Friday night. We're picking you guys up. And they're like, all right, we'll meet you guys in Birmingham. That's like where everybody hung out, Birmingham, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and pick up the girls. We have my brother's like SUV. So the trunk is kind of like an open trunk. I'm like, you girls have to ride in the trunk. We put them in the trunk. And we decide we're going to go to a park. And I was like, Jessica, on the way there, Tracy and I stopped at CVS and got bananas, condoms, baby diapers, and pacifiers.
Okay.
So we got all of that on our way there. And then my friend Jessica's like, okay, I just have to run by my house and tell my mom what we're doing because we were going to go to a park and haze them.
Right.
So we go by Jessica's house. She runs inside. She comes back out and she's like, my mom won't let me go with you guys to the park. But she said, whatever we want to do, we can do in the backyard because she had a really, really, really big backyard. Now, the backyard happens to be right next to Isaiah Thomas's backyard.
What?
Oh, shit.
So Jessica's mom, who's good friends with Isaiah Thomas, calls him and is like, hey, my daughter and her friends are going to be doing something in the backyard in case it gets loud, just to let you know, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right, cool. So they're just on the phone talking at this point. And my friend Tracy and I are in the backyard. We have them crawling on their hands and knees, wearing diapers on their head, throwing snowballs at them. We had tomatoes, throwing tomatoes. And we're just like throwing all this stuff at them. And then we're having them put the condoms on a banana. Oh, and we had whipped cream too. And we're like putting whipped cream on it. And we're making them like give head to the banana.
Naturally.
And I'm just chucking snowballs and we're screaming at them, suck it, bitches, suck it like you mean it. And then Jessica's mom came outside because when she was on the phone with Isaiah, he's like, I don't know, that seems kind of weird. What are they doing out there? And she's like, I don't know, I'm going to go check. So goes outside, is on the phone with Isaiah, and she hears us saying, suck it, bitch, suck it like you mean it. And all of a sudden her mom is like, what the fuck is going on? And we're like, ah! And my friend Tracy, who had a snowball in her hand, was like, fuck it, I'm out of here. And like just walked off. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Silverman. And then we like leave. And then we're about to get into my car and leave. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to apologize. And so I go back inside. I was like, Mrs. Silverman, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she's like, you need to get the fuck out of my house right now. Anyways, that's the story.
I like the idea of Isaiah Thomas if he was like, wait, so what they do? Let me come over. I'm gonna come over and.
Wait. Yeah. He to this day. So I eventually became friends. Like I made up with her whole family.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Now her mom is like actually one of my good friends. She lives in LA now, so I see her all the time.
Mm-hmm. But
one time, Isaiah was in town and we all went out to dinner together. And he goes, you're the suck it like you mean it girl.
Oh, shit. NBA legend Isaiah Thomas knows you as the suck it like you mean it girl.
That's amazing.
Damn, that should get you like at least a jersey.
For sure.
Or like season tickets to whatever.
Wait, just want the jersey to say suck it like you mean it though. Yeah. On the back.
Number 69. Mm-hmm. Suck it like you mean it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what part of Michigan was this?
This is Jessica and her family, they lived in Bloomfield Hills. That's where Isaiah lives. Well, I don't know if he still lives there, but that's where he lived.
Is that in Detroit? Or
just outside of Detroit.
Detroit is such a massive sprawl.
Yeah.
Of like never ending. Yeah. It's like, I used to think Ann Arbor.
It goes different like pockets. It's like so where I live it's like Southfield, Birmingham area. Right. Which is like just outside So it goes Detroit, Southfield, Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
Bloomfield is one after Birmingham.
Do you ever go back to Detroit?
I go back all the time. I'm back there every other month, probably.
Do you do spots when you're there? Do you go up on shows or anything?
I do I do little spots. I used to do Ridley's, but not really much anymore. But yeah, there's lots of little things there. I just recently did Ann Arbor comedy showcase.
Yeah.
I did that with the Sklar brothers. That was so fun.
Nice.
And I went to college in Ann Arbor, so that was like very nostalgic for me.
Oh.
That there's a place in Detroit called the Independent.
Independent's great.
Yeah, that's the kind of those are the clubs that I'm worried about surviving this all.
Yeah.
Because those are like the independently run up and coming joints that don't depend on like Groupon fucking, weekend warrior people.
Papering the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's the sort of thing, I like to think that when comedy can come back, people are going to be so thirsty for some sort of like laughter and entertainment that I like to think there's going to be like a bit of a comedy boom again.
Yeah. I hope so. I think there will be for any sort of like concert event thing that people can be a part of a community again.
Yeah. I think it's going to take a minute for it to get back to full throttle.
Yeah.
But I do think in some way wearing face masks is going to become a kind of a new normal for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know for me when traveling, like the amount all of us are on planes, I mean, we should be wearing masks all the fucking time. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's like how Asia, they were like, oh, we've been through this before. We all have these masks. Always had these.
Yeah.
I mean, I know too, like, I felt like for the longest time, Detroit was always used as an example of what happens to a major American city when the economy falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's still one of those cities where, for me anyway, when I go, I was there, like earlier, I was there last summer. It's still like parts of it are fucking great and thriving and awesome and beautiful. And then parts of it are just like, whoa, there is nothing.
Like here. Right around where the Independent is a horrible area.
Oh yeah.
Like horrible. Like Hamtramck, not fucking good. But when I was a kid, Hamtramck was like really great.
Oh really? Okay.
Like it was a decent area. It's like it is the most Polish. It's like it was all Polish. Now it's like, I don't know what predominant country it is, but it's a Mideastern country.
I mean, it's also a fucking, I don't know, like it's one of those, like, does this give you, because I've been asked about, like, is this anything like post-Katrina a lot? And it's like, it is, but Katrina was on such a it's one city versus the world.
Yeah.
And like, but someone who grew up in a post-industry Detroit, do you feel sort of like, it's gonna be weird, but we'll get through this.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll get through this thing. Like it's gonna be rough for a while.
Yeah.
But I think because if you think about it like steroids in baseball, like I'm gonna have to make a baseball player analogy.
Do it.
If one player takes steroids, all of a sudden he's better than everybody else.
Right.
But if every player takes steroids, it's a level playing field. And the way the economy is being hit is like everybody's getting hit. It is a completely level playing field. So it's like if everybody's boat is sinking, I didn't even need to make the analogy of steroids. Whatever. Yeah. I just had to throw in that baseball players take steroids. I just feel like everybody's sunk.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a level playing field. It's like everybody is losing money. Some people are losing all they have.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, as far as like our country versus another country, like every country's fucked right now.
Yeah. We're all affected. That's very true.
Yeah. Except for celebrities in their
houses, their foundations that have their money in it.
Yeah. Like, you guys, we're all in this together. It's like,
No,
are
we're
we?
not. No,
Give
we're
us,
fucking not.
give
Okay?
us some of that money then.
Yeah. Oh, I love it when celebrities are like, talk about like what everybody else can do. Stop telling us what we can do. Stop telling us what we can do.
Do something.
Yeah, don't help us raise money. Don't help raise money. Use your fucking money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Well, I love Rihanna right now.
Fucking money. Like there was a football player's husband. He's married to Ciara.
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Yeah, and he donated like. He basically is like, I'm going to pay the salary of every person who works at the stadium for 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Himself.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
That is fucking amazing. That is a celebrity not being like, we need to come together. That's a celebrity just being like, here's my fucking money.
Exactly.
Like right now, like nobody needs your inspirational speech.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Drew Brees, quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, gave $5 million to the city of New Orleans. Yeah. Just like, here you go.
Yeah,
$5 million. Yeah.
Yep.
$5 million.
Yeah, Rihanna gave $5 million as well.
Probably barely made a dent in what he has.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money you have to comfortably give $5 million?
Exactly. And to be able to liquidate it, like it's already there. It's crazy.
he's like, oh, I don't even need to cash out my stock. That's just in the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's just in the desk.
Yeah,
that's like it's in my desk drawer.
He just takes his wallet out.
I have it in cash.
It's a big wad. He's got like a dad wad, but it's all thousands.
Yeah. Or it's like, can we go by the coin? Is there a Coinstar machine on the way? I got about 2 million in fucking pocket change. Wait. Where are you online and whatnot? Like you're because I follow you on all the
find
socials.
You and support you.
I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
What's your handle?
Nicole Aimee, NicoleAimee. If life gets back to normal, come see me at the Comedy Store. I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm at the Comedy Cellar in Vegas.
Yeah.
Every other month. And then, opening up for, some folks, Bobby Lee from time to time, Dave Attel from time to time.
Nicole, you are seriously not only one of my favorite people, but one of my favorite people to watch on stage because you know what you're funny and you let the audience catch up to you. And I think that's better to watch than comedians who go up and are like, well, I'm going to come down to your level.
Yeah.
And
you're
also
like, very funny online, which I appreciate. I love all your posts.
Yes.
And everyone listening to this should follow.
Wait, can we just talk real quick about TikTok? What are our thoughts? What do we think?
Okay. I'm currently enjoying TikTok because I've been posting a song a day and I now have like 3 times as many Instagram followers as I do on TikTok. Or no, wait. I now have 3 times as many TikTok followers as I do on Instagram. And I've only been using TikTok for the past 2 weeks.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have like 2 videos that have over 100,000 views right now. So
and
like,
you hashtag it? Like, how do people find you?
Yeah, it's strangers too. That's what's great. It's not people in my like network. It's just hashtagging and it comes up on people's pages and they like it. So, I mean, TikTok is a mess in terms of like, a lot of the people are just doing dumb content. People are just following challenges. It's not original content. But if you are creating original content and people like you, you can develop a following. I don't know. I think it's like early YouTube.
I'm going to follow you. you.
Yeah. Don't be like me and get too hell-bent on hating like doctors who are TikToking because there was just one.
Are there doctors TikToking?
There are a lot of nurses being like, we're going to do this dance right now.
And I get that blowing off steam. There was just this one like funny doctor who I was like, what the fuck is this person's problem? Like, seriously, like, hey, you're a doctor. You should have decided to be a comedian fucking 15 years ago. But It turns out they're just a foot doctor. They're just a
Yeah,
podiatrist.
she's just a pretty foot doctor.
So it's
It's
okay.
fine.
Wacky podiatrist. You can be the wacky podiatrist.
You could be a wacky podiatrist or a urologist, but
or a pediatrician who's just a silly guy who loves kids.
Yeah. But once you start getting to like internal medicine, fucking take it seriously, please. And
you know,
also, thank you.
All right, I don't need your fucking joy day. You just told someone they had fucking cancer.
And also, if you're a young person listening to this and you're on the fence between going into medicine or comedy, please go into medicine.
So much.
We're gonna need.
We don't need any more comedians.
We need so many more medical professionals.
Yes,
please.
we do.
Because we're probably losing a lot of them right now.
Please.
So, be a doctor, be a nurse, be a PA. Just don't be a comedian.
No, we don't need you.
Yeah. But we need Nicole Aimee Schreiber, as will you. Give her a follow, a listen, and see her when we're all back out on the streets, because we're going to need each other.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yes, thank you.
I love you back. We love you back. Be cool.
Bye-bye.
Later.
If this pandemic has taught us anything at all, it's that we better appreciate what we have, because we don't know when it will fall apart and when we can all hang out again. Let's promise ourselves just one thing, my friends. Let's have an orgy. I know before this might not have been your thing, but a whole global orgy doesn't have to be sexual, just platonic cuddling, post-quarantine orgy. Yeah, it might seem a little much, but let's have an orgy, because we're all gonna need some human touch. Now that was a joke, and only a joke for the people above the age of consent, but still, R.I.P. my DMs.